Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Malaysia, and today I want to talk about how to get back on track with YouTube, how to 𝐓𝐢𝐤, because when doing YouTube, there's going to be points of feeling like you just are not for it. And when those points come, a lot of us, we just don't do what needs to be done to run your YouTube channel. I'm like lagging a little bit. Let me check my phone. When you're feeling low and you need to upload, it happens to the best of us. And it's the beginning of Q2. We're going to kill it, regardless of what emotions are flowing through us, how we're feeling, whatever limiting beliefs are stopping us. We're not going to get the best of us, not here on this channel. Let me keep this live stream up. I know in the past I would like delete them after a week, but I'm going to start keeping these live streams up because I do live stream on other platforms and they're just as informative. So there's no point of deleting them unless I drop a really good deuce. That like I'm just like, should I keep this deuce here? I mean, I drop really good deuces here all the time, but sometimes I just like get deep. I get deep and personal, and if I get too deep and personal, I might delete it. So you don't want to miss out. And next time I do a live stream, I'm definitely going to schedule it. Let me get on my thing. Okay, seems pretty good. All right, so I'm going to be sharing. Let's see, let me get my notes out. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be freestyled. Usually when I'm doing my regular videos, it's not scripted, but more outlined. It's a little bit outlined for this, but as it being a live stream, I'm not going to be afraid to just like sprinkle in some of my personal stuff to help you guys and answer some questions that you may have. So if you have questions that you're asking while watching the replay, put in the comments your questions and I'll start answering them. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I'm tired of seeing people just not let their emotions get the best of their potential. I used to do it. We all do it. It happens to the best of us, and it gets in our own way. And you don't have to get in your own way. There are ways to get out of a funk. There are ways to get out of feeling like you just don't want to do it, getting in a rut, you know? So one of the first things I want to talk about is the first things that I want to suggest is to listen to some music, but not just any old music. Listen to music that puts you in the best mood. And this could look differently based on what mood you're in. You know, if I were going to get general, I'd be like, you know, just put on some good music. But each mood that you're in, a specific type of music is going to put you in a better mood. So if I'm in the middle of a breakup, I'm going to belch out some Demi Lovato. I'm going to listen to something like, I love listening to 𝐓𝐢𝐤 𝐓𝐲 gone. That song, I'll just be like blasting it, singing, dancing to it. That puts me in a better mood. But when I'm doing my business work, you know, I'm planning out my lunches, you know, I'm doing some client work, I'm listening to Cardi B Money. That puts me in a good mood. When I need some motivation to get up and do some task in the morning, I'm listening to Josiah or Missy Elliott. That really puts me in a mood to, you know, cook, clean, get the day started. So depending on your mood, you want to think about what music you want to play. Know that music that gets you excited, the music that gets you going with the tasks, let's say homework, business work. Know what gets you going when you need to do chores. Know what gets you in a better mood when you're going through a breakup or when you're going through like doing your finances, because like that music is different for each emotion. It's not just one set music. When I'm ready to film and I'm getting ready, you know, putting on my makeup, I like to listen to Melanie Martinez. But in the morning, it's like Josiah, Missy Elliott, Flo Milli. Know what music gets you going, and that should help you with getting your tasks done. I've made a mistake of listening to my favorite music when I'm down. But when I'm down, sometimes I just want to listen to like sad music and cry it out. Know what type of music it's going to be to get you back on track. Not back on track completely, but to get you back, you know, get you up. And if you don't know that music, you know, create a little Spotify playlist. I'm actually thinking about sharing some of my Spotify playlists with you guys because I do have a few that really useful. So let me know in the comments if you want that. Another thing to do to 𝐓𝐢𝐤, get back on the flow of things so you can, get back on your YouTube channel, is to pray or talk to yourself. Now, I do both. I'm like, I just realized there's like a trash on the side. Let me cover that with my cup. Got to keep the aesthetics. So another thing that you want to do is to pray or talk to yourself. I don't want to say I'm religious because I'm very open-minded to other religions, but I do pray. I pray a lot. I pray like twice a day, and I don't pray your traditional way. I pray while walking in a park. I pray when I'm just doing dishes. And praying gives me clarity. It's kind of therapeutic. But also, if you're not religious, talking to yourself is also therapeutic. I do both. It seems kind of weird, but honestly, it's not. The most smartest people talk to themselves. How do you ever expect to know yourself if you're not going to talk to yourself? It's crazy when you're I don't want to say crazy, but people think it's crazy when you're having a whole conversation with yourself. But at the end of the day, talk to yourself. Figure out what's going on in there that's making you not want to do this work. Why can you not get out of bed? Why don't you want to do it? What are you going to do about it? What's really bothering you in here? What's really bothering you in here? You're not going to figure that out by just ignoring it. Hold on, I think there's something in my lip. Freaking piece of hair, ill. At least it's not lipstick on my teeth. Hold on, let me look for my dog. Where the heck is she? Oh, she's chilling. Okay, yeah, when I talk to myself, I get a lot of clarity. So it wouldn't hurt to try it. Who's looking, If someone peeps you talking to yourself, be whatever, who cares? Figure out what's going on there. Sometimes when I talk, one time I was talking to myself and I was asking myself, why don't I not want to get out of bed? Why do I want to snooze? And I realized I didn't want to snooze. I didn't want to wake up, and I snoozed because I felt overwhelmed with everything I had going on the day that I just didn't want to get out of bed. So I worked with planning out a way to not end up so overwhelmed in my day to the point where I don't want to wake up. But I would have never came up with that solution if I never had that talk with myself. So talk with yourself on why you are still behind with YouTube or why you don't want to upload onto YouTube. And you might just come up with a solution because who knows you better than you? Another thing I would suggest to 𝐓𝐢𝐤 and get back in the flow of things is to journal. Write a letter to someone or something. Burn it if you have to. When I'm feeling bleh, sometimes I like to write it out, and it helps even more to just say it. Just be say it out loud. Have it come out so you can see it for what it is. It lets out the frustrations. It lets it out your system so you can get up and get back to the flow of things without letting that clog you. By putting it on a pen and paper, you're no longer clogged. And as for writing a letter, let's say you're mad at someone. Let's say that you're angry about something. Hold on, there's an ambulance passing by. Let's see life. Let me check my lipstick. Okay, I'm good. So let's say you're mad at someone or you're mad at something. I remember reading, I think it was the book Get Rich Lucky Bitch. It told you to write a letter to money to help with your limiting beliefs around money. That letter really helped me to work on some mental things going on with my relationship with money. Let's say you've just broken up with someone, in the back of your head, you're just oh, I'm so angry. Write a letter to them, and then you don't have to give it to them. Let it out, release it, because you don't want it in you. That sounds wrong. You don't want it in you, getting in a way of you stepping into your full potential, getting back at what gets you going, getting back on your YouTube game. And again, it happens to the best of us. It's not something to beat yourself up over if you fall behind on making videos. If you just don't feel like doing anything anymore, it happens to the best of us, but it's your job to get yourself out of that rut. So I'm going to share a few more things with you. And definitely let me know in the comments if you already do any of these things, or if I didn't list out something that you do that helps you get back in the 𝐓𝐢𝐤, that helps you get back on track of YouTube. We can all share our ideas and pick up take notes, and practice each other's ways of 𝐓𝐢𝐤. Another thing to do, this thing I love doing a lot. I actually tried getting me and my best friend to do this activity because I love it so much. And it's to write out a list of gratitude and read it out loud. Let me double check the live stream again to make sure everything's good. It's been a minute since I live streamed on YouTube.
Seems pretty good.
Okay, audio's fine. Okay, so write out a list of everything you're grateful for. If you're too lazy to get a pen and paper, because I know sometimes I'm lazy. I'm a writer, and I'm still lazy. So if you're still lazy with that, just say it. Voice record it. Sometimes I'll pray and thank God for everything I'm thankful for. Something as small as like, I'm thankful I have a beauty blender to beat my face. Like, get really specific. Don't just be like, I'm thankful for family and friends. Like, really dig deep, because it's really going to make you appreciate it that much if you can get specific. So I send myself voice recordings. I have like a voice recording diary, and I will do that through the voice recording diary if I don't feel like writing it in my diary or just writing it out. Because sometimes, you know, like my hands be hurting. I write a lot. Like, I get into detail. So, you know, something as small as like, I'm thankful. Oh, someone's like Facebook calling me. No. Hold on, I just got like a Facebook call. I don't know if it cut off this video, but I'm gonna get back to it. Let me just let them know that. Okay. So something as simple as, I'm thankful for this desk. I'm so thankful for this desk. Yeah, it's a desk. Everyone has a desk usually, but like, I'm thankful I got a desk because I could be like deskless. I'm thankful I have an apartment. I'm thankful that I have not just a roof over my head, but I have my own roof over my head. I'm thankful for my candles. My apartment smells amazing. I'm thankful for these flowers, like, because like they just make me feel alive. I love flowers, like small things. I usually give myself like a certain number. Sometimes it's 11, sometimes it's 21, sometimes it's 10. Whatever many things you need to be, you need to think of. Challenge yourself to think of at least like 15 things right now, actually, of what you're grateful for, and tell me how you feel. Another way to 𝐓𝐢𝐤 and get back on track, so you're not just, you know, is to find, this one's different. This one's really different, so take note of this. Find your mental refresh channels. I made this up. I'm sure there's like another word for it maybe. Your mental refresh channels is where you mentally refresh, and you have a different one for different things you need to refresh on. So all the problems that you have in life that typically get on your nerves, like have a specific outlet to where you can like, you know, 𝐓𝐢𝐤. So when I'm having really like boy problems, I like to watch, as controversial as her channel is, like I admit I love to watch 𝐓𝐢𝐤 𝐓𝐸. I also love watching Aisha Sheetsy. They both have some good advice on there about like guys, relationships, you know, how to be a boss ass bitch. So whenever I'm like feeling like in the back of my head, I'm just like, like this is bothering me. Like, I wonder, I go to their channels, and after watching their channels, I feel so good. I feel like nothing can touch me. Like, F these boys, like I'm the prize. And sometimes watching Sex and the City is like therapeutic. If you're single, watch Sex and the City. It's on HBO. I literally got HBO just for Sex and the City. But as a single bachelorette, my bachelorette pad, Sex and the City is just like something that really just rejuvenates me. I know where to go when I'm having relationship problems, or when I feel like I'm having boy problems. I just watch that channel, or I watch that show, and I feel better. When I'm feeling lost in life, I like to watch Cozy Talks on YouTube, or her podcast. She has a podcast. There's also a YouTuber named Isabella Palacios. She has amazing videos, perfect for when I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, like I don't know where to turn next. Like I'm just feeling like I need validation in these feelings. Like I'm just ooh, like no one understands me. Like we all have those moments, no matter how far you've been in life, we all have those moments. And watching those channels really helped me with that specific area. Now, when it comes to feeling lost in business, I have a channel that I go to 𝐓𝐢𝐤. I have a specific person that I like to watch 𝐓𝐢𝐤 and realize I'm 100% that bitch in my business. When I have like, when I'm like feeling bad about my weight, or like I'm just feeling kind of insecure about like, I don't know, my diet, I have specific channels, specific people that I watch to make me feel better, to just remind me like it's okay, you know? So if you don't already have specific sources, find your sources 𝐓𝐢𝐤. I was like, what is that water? It's Pepsi. I wish I could like get the camera and show you, but like this is a laptop. So let me see if she wants to come up here. Come here, Hershey. Oh, say hi. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a real minute. Her face just drunk water. I don't know if you can see her. Oh, say hi. Say hi, YouTube. Oh, I got lipstick on you. Okay. So, if you don't know your sources, find your sources. You know, really pay attention and take note of what makes you feel better in whatever areas you're having problems. You know, everyone has their own preference. You know, I know a lot of people who have their own preference of what business coach that they like to watch content from, you know, where they like to get the relationship advice. Figure it out, because if not, you're going to be like just stumbling, like waiting for that rejuvenation to find you. Again, it's your responsibility to get yourself out of this rut. And I also want to emphasize that there's nothing wrong with it, and definitely feel the pain. Don't just like shove it, but also look for a solution to like how to feel better, get back on your game, and stop. Another thing that you can do, I don't know if you guys can see her because I can't even see the viewfinder right now, but putting my dog's ears. Another thing that you can do to stop and get back on track. I know this is annoying. Like, I remember I used to hear people say this and I'd be like, okay. But exercise. Exercising legitimately puts you in a better mood. I don't know the science of it all. I think it's like serotonin is released or something. Don't quote me. But when you exercise, it puts you in a better mood. Like when I used to exercise every single day, man, like in the morning, I was so like, I was just on top of it. I was just ready to do things. Like I've noticed that whenever I exercise, I want to exercise more. It's like exercising puts me in a state where I'm just like, what's next, you know? And sometimes you might need that. That is a great boost to have when you're like in a rut. Instead of just being upset and angry or whatever problems you're dealing with, instead of just sitting with them, punch it out. Get a punching bag, punch it out. Literally, you don't even have to punch a punching bag. Punch the air. Do an exercise. It feels really good. You're letting out that anger, that frustration, that sadness, whatever is going on that is putting you in this rut, that is making you not want to do certain tasks that need to be done. Move your body, even if it's just a walk. Speaking of, the last thing that I want to share with you on how to 𝐓𝐢𝐤 and get back on track with YouTube. Let me just make sure my lipstick is good. You see, when I actually film with a camera, you don't see this. You don't see like me checking my lipstick to make sure it's not on my teeth. So you get that exclusiveness through catching my live streams. Again, I'll probably schedule the next one. Last thing I want to suggest, if you're needing to 𝐓𝐢𝐤, if you're like, you're in a rut, go in nature, go outside. A lot of us are inside because of the, pandemic. I get it. It's scary, annoying. It's here and present. But something as simple as just going for a walk to a store, to your local corner store, something as simple as like going to Starbucks instead of Uber eating it, Instacarting it. I mean, you can't Instacart. That's for groceries. You know what I mean? Instead of doing that, go outside. Find an excuse to go outside. Do a photo shoot in your backyard. Go out in nature. Like that literally, I don't even know how to explain the logic behind it, but it just does put you in a good mood. I remember I was in the house all day. I was like, doing business work. Every time someone comes near the door, she's just like, she's full on like security dog mode. Like, let me bark my ass off. I'm trying to like train her not to do that. She doesn't do it as much. But I don't know if it was last week, I think it was the week beforehand, I was like in the house all day, just doing business work. And I needed to go out. I forgot, what was it that I needed to do? I needed to go out and do an errand. And I was procrastinating that errand because I was like, I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to look presentable to the world. I don't want to like leave, like put on shoes and have to draw my eyebrows. Like, But I did because I had to. And then I went to the downtown area of my city, which is so beautiful. And not only did I do that task, but since I was already out, it led to me being like, why don't I stop by this restaurant? Why don't I stop by Barnes & Noble? Why don't I stop by Starbucks? Why don't I sit down and just like, chill? Like, it was one of the best, I think it was the best day. I don't want to over exaggerate, but it's one of the best days I had in Q1 of this year. Just going out and like at Barnes & Noble, I bought myself like 2 books. One of them was like an activity book, like, one of those don't destroy this book, you write stuff about yourself. Another book I got was just like something I found really interesting. It was like some not psychology, but it was like some book about like the science behind assholes. I'm like fascinated by certain things, like human nature and everything. As a coach, you gotta know things. But I bought myself 2 books. I got myself a Starbucks drink. I sat down in nature and had a walk in the park, talked on the phone with my friend. So it didn't feel like I was alone. And then after I got off the phone with my friend, it was just like, it still doesn't feel like, who cares if I'm alone? I'm having a good time. And it was it just restarted it like refreshed myself. So don't underestimate the power of going outside. You don't have to necessarily like go out and hike. Just go to like a very close area that's beautiful. Go to a park. Instead of reading your book inside your room or inside a living room, go read your book inside of the park. I mean, like, if you want to stay safe, go in your backyard. I know where I used to live. I lived where the wild things are. So the backyard pretty much was nature. I literally bears, like, we had a mama bear run across our driveway. That's how wild the things are where I used to live. So I used to like sit on a tree and just like pray to Jesus, read my book, and take pictures. Like, just feels good. I don't know the science behind it. I'm sure someone can, if you know, explain in the comments, but go out in nature. So just to recap on everything that I just suggested, refresh y'all. Listen to some music specific about like what music puts you in what mood. Like, identify what mood you're in and figure out what type of music is best to put you back in the 𝐓𝐢𝐤 and back on track of doing the tasks needed to do that you're procrastinating. You're going to want to listen to this music when you're like sad and mad, heartbroken, waking up. So figure out what that music is and have that out to play when you need it. Second thing is to pray or talk to yourself. Really rejuvenating. Who the fuck cares if people think you're crazy? Do it in private. You're literally getting to know yourself because you are the only person that knows yourself the best. Journal, write out a letter to something or someone, if there's something or someone specifically that is bothering you. Write out a list of gratitude and read it out loud, or just say what you're grateful for, and get specific. Find your mental refresh channels. Know where you can turn when you're having a problem in your life. And, you don't necessarily, this could be people too. It doesn't have to be like a channel. This could be like, my dad specifically gives me really great advice on my business. My best friend, she's really great at making me laugh. My other best friend, she's really great with just ranting about boys. So know your channels, know where to turn. And, it really is helpful because you don't feel alone. A lot of us do, but honestly, we all go through the same problems. Write out, let me see, I think I'm reading it wrong. Oh, well, the second to last thing is to exercise. It doesn't have to, there's like this misconception that you need to like feel a ton of pain to exercise. You don't. Just, it could be something as small as like a 15-minute workout. You don't necessarily have to sweat and be crying and throwing up to have a good workout. I noticed this may seem like common sense to some people, but like I know when I first got into my weight loss journey, before I self-educated myself on how to actually lose weight gradually and sustainably, I felt like I needed to do like heavy ass workouts in order for it to count. You don't. Do something simple. You don't have to do something intense. I like to do Zumba. I like to do dance classes. I like the dance classes where I get to shake my ass and feel sexy. So do that if that's what you want to do. Or sometimes I just want to stretch. You know, I do like, there's like this exercise. If you look up driver's license exercise, I love it. It's like a stretching exercise. It's really fun. And it's just like really rejuvenating. And the last thing is to go out in nature, go outside, get yourself some sun. Some of you guys are allergic to the sun. Some of you guys hate the sun. I'm the person that stares at the sun, even though like people say you go blind. I don't go blind. I don't want to sound crazy, but I feel like I'm even more aware. Like I'm even more visionary. I have my third eye is opening when I look at the sun. So let me not scare you guys with my weirdness. I'm going to go. I hope this has helped you get back into 𝐓𝐤 𝐤. I'm going to keep this live stream up. If you like this live stream, give it a like. Comment down what was your favorite tip on how to 𝐓𝐤 𝐤, how to get back on track with YouTube. I didn't necessarily get into the details on like how to actually like, you know, upload, edit, because like there's so many things when it comes to that. Personally, when it comes, not even personally, most of the time, the reason why we can't do said editing, said filming, said starting the channel, said, you know, being consistent is because there's something going on inside. We're in a rut. We're feeling So I hope this helps. Have a great Saturday, and I'll see you guys later.